Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Welcome to day 14 of the Mountain Culture Advent Box. Today's is a West Coast IPA. Woohoo! Love me a West Coast. And yeah, there's been heaps of hazies, so a welcome change. It's called Retrograde with some pretty sick artwork. And yeah, it's at 7%. They've tried to make it like real old school too. And the hops in this one are Centennial. Yeah, they've changed it up and gone with Motueka just to make it a little bit different. So I've got my original Mountain Culture glass. I've got two of these bad boys. They've been very durable and reliable over the years. Let's pour it. Looks pretty good. So it's sort of like a straw orangey colour. It's very lively carbonation. About a 1 finger head. When I poured it for the photo before, it was probably a 2-3 finger head. I've just had most of the can just sitting in the fridge ready to go. Yeah, the bubbles are sticking to the dirty glass. So I'd say probably medium body, but yeah, very active carbonation. Let's go a smell, shall we? Looking forward to this one. It's a piney boy. So I'm getting like sort of sharp pine. Some grass, like earthy, woodsy. It's got that sort of cedary sort of feel to it. Spruce tip. You're definitely getting some citrus. I'm getting grapefruit, and I'm also getting lemon and lime from the Motueka. There's like even a little, like a touch of tropical fruit. Maybe like pineapple, passion fruit. As far as the base goes, I was thinking it might be more like a caramel, but this one's definitely bready. I think they've based it on like your Northwest, like your Seattle style IPA. Up where Beer Man is in Oregon. What, that Northwest area, Washington, Oregon. Yeah, you're getting a touch of like orange, grapefruit. It's very citrusy. Smells really good. And yeah, it comes across more of like a sweet citrus. It's going to be one of those ones that deceives me, I reckon. Like on the palate, it'll probably be like bitter and pithy. But yeah, just on aroma, it's like sweet citrus, like dry pine, and like, yeah, bread. And the percentage on this one was 7. So yeah, just a single West Coast IPA. Anyway, time to sip her up. Cheers. So yeah, very sweet and fruity on the nose. But as soon as you sip it, you just get this like, first of all, it's like a prickly carbonation, but then dry, dank, and bitter. Like very drying. It was like really weird because it smells so sweet. It gives off like a slightly grainy malt presence. But yeah, piney, woodsy. There's definitely grapefruit pith there, orange pith. Yeah, when you're getting more of like the peel of the citrus fruit. I do like the fact that they've used Motueka in there and you get that like lemon, lime, and slight tropical touch to it. Sort of adds like a new element to a West Coast that you don't normally get. Yeah, on flavour, it's really good. This is a double IPA would be phenomenal. I do prefer a little more of like a toffee backbone, but as far as the hop character goes, I'm a big fan. But yeah, way drier than expected. I'd say bitterness would be like moderate. Dryness is pretty high. Um, yeah, it's just got that like dry, more of that dry pine. Like, say you go like we've got a nearby forest here, and it's like I sort of get that feeling like it's more forest during the summertime. Whereas sometimes you'll get that real like dank, musty, like wet forest floor sort of thing. It's the like complete opposite of that as far as the green character goes. Pardon me. So yeah, that artwork's interesting. Sort of yeah, it's like there's planets there. At first I thought it looked like a bloody what's the wheel they have at the casino? Roulette, where it's got the red and the black. It looked like that, but it's like a heap of planets, heaps of colours. It actually looks a bit like a wheel as well. Hmm. I don't know what retrograde is. No idea. It says we're dialing this new West Coast IPA all the way back to the old school end of the Westy range in order to show off what a New World hop can do. We're sometimes a bit wacky like that. So yeah, that's the whole using the Motueka in an old school Westie. First, we've recreated a malt base that would be well and truly at home in a Seattle craft beer dive bar in the mid 2000s. I'm trying to think of a craft brewery from Seattle, like back in those days. Like I know, like your Rogue and all that stuff from Oregon, and obviously there's heaps of Californian ones, but I can't sort of think of what was Seattle. When I think of Seattle, I think of Starbucks. Pretty sure a few of the big companies started in Seattle. Not to mention the grunge scene. Yeah, and then it says we then dry hopped it with a substantial amount of centennial hops to create a resinous base of citrus and pine that made brewers fall in love with this style across the world before adding an almost excessive dry hop of Motueka hops from New Zealand. The Motueka adds bright lemon and lime with a hint of sweet tropical fruit. Cool, that's exactly what I got. That turns this beer from a one-dimensional citrus bomb into a interdimensional era jumping complex yet easy drinking West Coast IPA. Cool. So yeah, like when it comes to West Coast IPAs, if you want to make them like old school, which I'm all for, you definitely have to have some of those original old school hops, like your C's. But it is good to throw in one like Motueka, like that just adds that slight difference. It's the same when I get one that has like Nelson in it or Talus or even Sabro sometimes can be good. It's definitely trial and error when it comes to hops in different styles. Sometimes it works, sometimes not. So who's out there? What are you drinking? What's your name? What are you drinking? Where are you from? For some reason, like lately, when I do the two Advent beers together, you'll do the first one and there'll be like a heap of people. And then you'll start the second, and it's like YouTube isn't showing that it started and there's no one there. It's weird. It's weird how the old algorithm works. At the end of the day, though, I mean, yeah, actually, not at the end of the day because it's more about the community than the product. But I'm still going to sit here and talk shit and drink the beer. I just like the interaction with people. And then after this beer, I'll probably join a panel and go back to this shite. I got this one because it was dirt cheap. It was like if you spend $30 on alcohol, you'll get this for a certain amount. I remember when Australia first sort of got into craft, James Squire was one of the breweries, but they're like pretty sure they're owned by one of the conglomerates. They're certainly not true craft beer. It tastes a lot different than what it used to, that's for sure. Yeah, you get that lingering bitterness that just hangs around. Like my last sip was like a couple of minutes ago, and it's just like dancing around on the back of my tongue. There's a car next door. It's got the loudest exhaust on it every time they start up and leave and then come back. You can hear it from about 3 blocks away. I don't know why I don't know what they do, but they seem to go out and back and out and back and out and back like all day long. That is good stuff. Yeah, as it warms, it's getting like more and more dank. Like you're sort of getting this earthiness. It's like it's like if you got I don't know, you picked grapefruit straight away and it had a bit of sort of dirtiness to it and you just like got straight into it. I don't mind a bit of grapefruit. A lot of people think it's too bitter, but It's a fruit I don't mind. Pink grapefruit's even better. It's one thing I like about the Talus hop is that pink grapefruit character. It's awesome. You sort of get like sweetness and like the tartness from it or the bitterness. Yeah, it's definitely changing as it warms slightly. It's getting more and more punchy with like the dankness and the bitterness. Less sweet. Yeah, the tropical fruits, they were sort of just there in the background. It's definitely more of a citrus beer. So yeah, after watching the old boxing, getting up like I woke up during the night and I sent Drew from Miscellaneous Brew Reviews a message saying, "Are we watching the boxing?" Because we watched the first one together. And he's like, "Oh shit, I didn't even realise it was on," sort of thing. And then he went to check it, and there was fights already on. So he's like, "Oh, I'll send you the link now. We'll start watching it." And I got out of bed like sacrifice sleep. Here I am thinking, oh, it started. I'll have to get up, even though I've only had like 2 or 3 hours sleep because it was middle of the night for me. And yeah, it was. We started watching the fights, and they were just like the low undercard ones. It was still like 4 or 5 hours till the main fight started. So I was sort of annoyed. I wish I had just stayed in bed for another like 3 or 4 hours. So yeah, I just feel like the rest of today I'm just going to be absolutely knackered unless I have a sleep. Cheers, Daniel. Good to see you, brother. I think the algorithm's playing tricks with me, dude. I've been going for like 18 minutes and there's just no one about. I don't know what's going on. Got my orange mountain culture hat on that I've wore every mountain culture advent beer so far. Got to keep the trend going. So yeah, I haven't what I normally do when I get to the last sort of 2 or 3 beers of the box, I'll just open them up and like sit them in the fridge ready to go because I'll get rid of the boxes because they take up so much room. We had one that started December 1, which is like, yeah, every day of December till Christmas. And then we had one that started, it was like 16 days of Christmas. So it started on like the 9th. It is a bit confusing. If I just did the one, it wouldn't be confusing because I'm doing two every day. So yeah, the mountain culture one is in the brewery. That's 16 days, and then the other one's my favourite bar in Melbourne. They've got like breweries that do special beers just for the Advent box. Yeah, the Carwin one is in the bottle shop one. They actually have a Magnum. You could buy it as an add-on for Christmas Day. Huge Magnum of sour beer. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. I'm gonna put that in the fridge probably tomorrow once I get rid of these boxes. It's real hard at the moment. I just got no room in the fridge. I've got all these beers and nowhere to put them. I was nearly going to buy a new fridge a few weeks ago. Just I need one anyways. But yeah, it's like Would have been the perfect time to have another fridge. Yeah. Yeah, they've been really good. That triple dry hopped one was awesome. This Westie's good. What's on for your Saturday, Dan? We were watching the boxing at Miscellaneous's, and yeah, it's like they all went and started gaming. I pissed off to go do these reviews. I'm not sure what's happening afterwards. Cool. The old Belgian strong ale. Good o. Now I got one of them in the fridge. Yeah, good old Omni Gang. I've never had anything from them. Yeah, I was always going on Alex's yesterday. Just not sure sort of what time I was going to get on there. And yeah, when I got on there, it was pretty late. You'd already left. When I seen it earlier, it was you and Tanner. I think you, Tanner, and Alex. Maybe someone else, but when I got on there, it was Eric, Jordan, Stephen, Keith. Might have been another person. Can't remember. But yeah, we were hanging out for a little bit with him afterwards as well. He was pretty drunk. It was funny. Cheers, Paul, brother. Dead to me, Ryan. I'm on a Westie, Paul. It's got some good level of pine in it. And speaking of Dan, this Westie's got Motueka in it, which is pretty cool. It's already like a citrus bomb, and the Motueka just adds that like lemon and lime, but also gives it a little tropical hit as well. I don't mind the old Motueka in a Westie, just as long as the Westie has like a one of the original hops. I think it works well. Yeah. Yeah. Nah, actually I'll do that today. It's almost like I've been trying to make room in the fridge. Now that now that the Advent beers are nearly done, I can fuck the boxes off because the two boxes of Advent beers take up so much room in the fridge. So I've had all heaps of the foreign stuff sitting behind them. And now, if I fuck those boxes off, just get the two beers left in each box, sit them aside, I can then grab out all the other stuff and I'll put a list together. I've got a couple in the cellar and then the rest of them are in the fridge. I'll just I'll just put every single US beer I've got onto a list, send it out to you. That lingering bitterness is getting more and more intense. I like it. Who gave Alex the donation, or did he get a few of them? Would have been funny. One thing I always chime out, like I love guitar. I play guitar myself. I love my rock and metal music and shit. But yeah, when I'm on a stream or hanging out and someone pulls out the guitar and it's like it's sort of annoying because you go from having conversations to just someone just playing and like I don't know, making it about them. I just something very annoying about it. So whenever I'm on a stream and someone busts out a guitar, it's just like I'm out, I'm done. And yeah, last night when we were hanging off there, Eric picked up the guitar and then Keith did the same thing, and I'm like, nah, I'm gone. I mean, sometimes it's all right because it's like expected and that, but yeah, I can't stand it when people are trying to have conversations though, and someone comes in and just starts playing it. It comes across like really rude. But each to their own. Yeah, true. I just find a lot of times it becomes like the focal point, and then you can't really do anything else. Yeah, he said something about drinking spirits. I was like, Jesus. I think he said he's talking about drinking tequila at one stage. And wow. Yeah. Normally, the person, if they pull the guitar out, quite often they're drunk, so they're not really thinking about the others around them. But yeah, I might wrap this up. As far as this beer goes, very, very good. I'm going to say, what would I score this? I'm going to go a 4.5 out of 5. As far as Westies go, it's very, very good. And yeah, mountain culture obviously doing well. At the moment in Australia, I think the West Coast game is very fucking good. Mountain culture probably had the pedestal there for a while, but I think Fox Friday have them covered these days. Fox Friday's Westies are immaculate. You even go into the brewery at Fox Friday, and they have more West Coast there than hazies, which I like because just about every other brewery has about 8 hazies and one lager and one sour beer. So yeah, this was called Retrograde, 7%. And yeah, it was number 14. So I've got two more beers in both calendars. Actually, I've got three for the Carwin one because I've got the Christmas Day Magnum. So yeah, wrap it up there and see you again. Probably a similar. Actually, no, I'm working morning shift next week, so I'll be doing my Advent reviews at a completely different time. I'm not sure what yet. It'll probably be, as far as for the US and the UK, it's probably going to be more likely your morning or lunchtime sort of thing because it'll be my late at night. So, yeah, a bit of a change up. But yeah, thanks everyone that's chimed in, and we'll see you again soon.